Okay, I think we're live. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome, Deb. Really happy to have you here with us today.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited you could join us today. And welcome, everybody else. Welcome to Unmuted. This is our 24th. I'm getting lost. I think this is our 24th episode, which is really exciting. We've had so many amazing women sharing their gifts and talents and treasures with us. Now for 24 episodes. We are on LinkedIn and YouTube, so you can find previous episodes in both of those places. So check them out. And if you're new to the Unmuted space, I'm Paige, your host. I started the Unmuted platform for women, really, because I've been doing this work for a long time. I work in the social impact space and within the coaching space. And I meet a lot of amazing women, Deb as an example. And it was like, well, how can other people meet these women also? We have our own networks. How do the folks that I know get to meet Deb also? And I spent a really long time, years literally, trying to figure that out. And I landed on this live podcast or video cast. And it's been fantastic. So that's what Unmuted is. I'm also the founder of Page Capacity Builders, which is a social impact consulting strategy and coaching firm. I said I've been doing this work for a long time, been 19 years, which is crazy. And I've had my firm for the past 13 years now. So it's been a really exciting time to be doing social change and social impact work.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, let us know you're here. It's always fun to see who is here. We don't know unless you put it in the chat. And let us know where you're joining from. We've had folks from all over the world, good friends in Berlin and Milan, Canada, Montreal, like all over the place and all over the United States. So it's a lot of fun to see when our friends are joining. So let us know you're here. And without further ado, I will stop talking. And Deb, I'm going to hand it over to you if you want to just tell everybody about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paige, again for having me. And I just love that we have such overlap in our worlds of working with women, working in the social impact space. So, it just makes it even more special. A little bit about me. I am Deb Mitchell. I am the founder of Debra Mitchell and Company, which is a consulting and coaching, leadership coaching practice. And I spent the last 20 years working with all size organizations, helping them navigate through change. And what I realized was that most change doesn't really it doesn't happen by a change management plan. What happens is it happens around the conversations that people are willing or oftentimes unwilling to have. And that's really what drives the success of change, whether you're looking to change just for yourself internally and who you are, how you lead, what you want to do, or you're changing for an organization. So that's really the work that I do today through my women's leadership cohort called The Shift. And then also I bring that work into organizations and helping them to improve team dynamics and engagement, and then also help them navigate culture change and technology change. I do a lot of technology implementations on the people side. Just a little bit about me.
I did not know that about the technology work.
Yeah.
That's really, really good to know. I might be calling you up to help me with some of my clients because that is way out of Paige's scope.
It is so much that it's hard, but I literally, it's where I find a lot of joy. I recently worked with a nonprofit that was implementing a new ERP system, a new warehouse management system, a new accounts payable system that all had to be integrated. And one of the big things I do is, because I have a very strong tech background, is act as a translator with the actual tech team that's implementing and the users and the C-suite. But really it's about, I always call it peeling the onion, like trying to figure out, like, why are you doing this? It's not just about that you need technology. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And when you start to peel that back, then you know what you need your people to do. And that's your internal people, it's your external people, it's your partners, your vendors, your clients, all of that. And so, yeah. And if you don't do all of that and have the conversations and equip your managers and the people who are responsible for relationships with your external stakeholders, then it gets really hard and you just don't get the intended results. So I love it. Yeah.
I love that. That's incredible. So you hear her, folks. If you need somebody who has dev skills, call her up. Well, now you know where to find her on LinkedIn, so you can reach out to her there. And just welcome, everybody. Super excited to see everyone who's joining us today. Tell us more about your cohort program, The Shift.
Yeah, this is I call this my heart work, and this is a program for women. It's a public cohort, so it would be people, women at, depending on how your company runs, it could be senior manager, director, senior director level, and it's for women who have just spent kind of like a lifetime or a career getting coded or vague feedback. You're too emotional, you need more executive presence, or you're too much or not enough of something. And what we do is we work together in a group using my proprietary 4Cs framework, which really starts, the foundation of it is around center. And that's the key to really everything. It's about, who are you? Like really understanding who you are. What are your values? How do they show up today? How do you want them to show up? And of those values, which ones have a little bit of wiggle room and which ones are like your hard lines in the sand? And then you start to create like those boundaries. Like, how do you then hold those boundaries? And so when you know who you are, and I also teach, I'm a mindfulness practitioner and certified mentor. So I teach a lot of mindfulness tools, because a lot of it is about being able to center, to pause, to have these things that allow you to reset and be present. And that's the foundation for then, how do you then start to create that psychological safety in connection across your teams? But honestly, it's for your whole life, because you're not one person at work, one person at home. So how do you start to have that connection and have let it be safe for you to have your values and your boundaries and other people as well, right? How do you make it safe for both? And then the third piece is a really big one, and that's around communicating. A lot of work I do with nonprofits is doing workshops around navigating challenging conversations, because we don't know how to do them and we avoid them. And then we avoid them so much that they become these huge unscalable mountains. So really what I do is I work with you to, how do you have everyday conversations so that you're creating the connection, you're creating the trust. So things you're not avoiding the hard things, because there's always going to be hard things. It's life. But it just becomes easier because it doesn't feel like I ignored it for so long and now it's so big that it's going to be really hard to resolve. So it's really about how do we learn how to have everyday conversations and welcome other people and lean in with curiosity, ask questions. And then the fourth C is around cultivate. How do you then start to build that into your life, whether it's in your personal life or at work? Like, it's a ripple effect. You don't start with the hardest, hairiest problem. You start small and then it builds and it builds. And then as other people see what you're doing and they feel safe and empowered, then they start to do it. And that's the ripple. So that's my program.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, the hard conversations, that's a huge topic for folks. I mean, rightfully so. I'm always working with people around reframing that in your mind, that it doesn't have to be a hard conversation. Sometimes they are, but you can also reframe it for it to be an opportunity.
100%.
So there's a lot in there. Very cool.
Yeah.
Are you ready to dive into our questions?
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. I've been asking everyone the same 3 questions.
Okay.
And it's been really great to see the similarities and differences, just all the learnings
Yeah.
on folks' journey in leadership over the course of their careers in so many different fields. It's really neat to see, for folks at different points in their careers, right? So it's been really great to see the differences there. So our first question is, what is, and this is like so relevant to your work, what is a mindset shift that you've had that has shaped the way you lead today?
I will say hands down, it's my mindfulness practice. And there was always a part of mindfulness that I have had in my leadership, and that was really around compassion and empathy. But during COVID was really hard for me. I'm probably like an extreme extrovert. So like being shut up was very, very hard for me. And I used to travel a lot too for work. So it was sort of a double whammy. So I was like, I got to find a way to survive this. And so I was introduced to mindfulness, and I started doing some online courses. And then I became a certified mindfulness mentor because I loved it so much. And why I loved it and why it changed my mindset was because it really helped me to be present in conversations. And it really helped me to lose judgment, to stop judging. Because I was a terrible judger. Like, oh, well, why would you do that? Or, like all of these things that would go through my head. And then also noticing like the physical reactions that I was having in my body and my emotions, and being able to listen to the sounds. And when you pull all of that together, what it does is it just really allows me to be present in the moment. And one way this really shows up is earlier in my career, when I first became a manager back at Deloitte, I was doing like a one-on-one with one of my team members, and they got really frustrated with me, and they said, "You're always multitasking." And I realized I have my cell phone right there on the desk, and I have my computer open. And so it was such a habit of doing like that I didn't even notice it. And it wasn't until that person was brave enough and kind enough, honestly, to call me out on it that I went, "Oh, wow, I'm really doing that." And so that for me has been being able to just let go of the other things around me. So I always say to myself, I'm not a heart surgeon. No one's going to die if I don't respond for 30 minutes, right? Like, it's okay. Just be present in what's happening. And then also like being able to use my tools, which makes me a better leader, because you could be saying something and it could really stress me out. But I could in my head go, oh, I feel this sensation coming up. I'm getting really stressed, or this is really triggering me. And I will be doing like a 10-second 3-breath reset. And you don't even know I'm doing it. And it's just like, and it just helps me like reground me. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Tell us about, because folks always love like learning new tips and tools and things. Tell us about the breathing exercise.
Yeah. So I'm always cautious about doing breathing exercise with people, because some people have like anxiety around breathing, but this is actually really easy. Okay. There's not a right or wrong way to do the breath. It's like however you feel comfortable. But on your first breath in, you're just noticing what's going on. You're not naming it. You're just noticing like what's going on. And then the second breath, then you name it, like, oh, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling anxiety, whatever that is, you just naming it. And then on the third breath, you're saying, here's how I want to show up. I want to show up as confident. I want to show up as calm. And then that gives you an anchor word to keep in your mind. And you can do it, and nobody even knows that you don't even, it's not like you have to go, one moment, please. You're just doing it.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I need
one moment. I just got to reground. So it's just a little trick that you can use. And I think it's more, using a pause is really powerful, but for me, this is more powerful than a pause when I'm being triggered or anxiety is coming up, because it really calms me.
Yeah. I love that. And I love how you can kind of do it anywhere, at any time, at any point.
Yeah.
And the grounding word, that is powerful.
Yeah.
Because it gives your brain that's probably freaking out something to like attach to and center on and kind of hold on to, versus all of the anxiety that is being. That's really great.
Yeah. Instead of focusing on, oh my God, I'm freaking out, you're like, I'm
Yeah.
calm. I'm calm.
Yeah.
I'm calm. Yeah.
I love this. Fantastic. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Okay, our second question. Tell us about a risk that you've taken along your journey that
Yeah.
really changed everything for you.
Starting my own business. Um,
Okay.
it's like, I always describe it as like jumping into the deep end of the pool without my floaties on. It was something that I don't think I consciously knew how much I wanted to do it, but I got laid off. I'd been at a company for 5 years and got laid off, and it was a surprise. But I had this really, really generous severance package. So I have financial freedom to take some time to think about what I wanted to do. And so I said, I believe I'm a good investment. I'm going to try this. I'm going to start this. So yeah, starting my own business was a big risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that went through your mind when you made that decision? Do you remember?
Yeah, it really was like, will anyone buy from me? Because
Okay.
I had, I had spent my entire career working in the big four consulting firms and Fortune 500 companies. So it was always Deb Mitchell with this company.
Yeah.
And so,
You have a backing.
yeah. And so being on my own, it was like, well, will people hire me?
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, maybe people don't like me,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was it. Like, will people hire me for me? And I had to just always remind myself that just because I worked at a big company, at these different companies, my work was still what I brought to the table.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, so I just had to just bolster myself.
And when did you start your business?
In 2023. So this is my third year. And yeah, it's I think another part of the, I mean, you might ask me, but I'll just go ahead and answer it now, was about what gave me the courage. And honestly, that is my husband and my family. Because my husband is an engineer. He's totally risk averse, like totally completely risk averse, but he's not the person I told him like early, like having ideas. It was once I had a plan, then I sort of brought him in, because that would
Know
have
your audience.
And but then he was like, he literally said, I believe in you, and you're going to be awesome. You're going to be able to do this. And my family, my mom and my sisters and my brother were the same way. And so I liken it to,
I love that.
They believed in me before I really believed in myself. And that ties to the work I do with women, because so often the women I work with they're at a point where they're really doubting themselves. Is this me? Am I crazy? So I believe in them until they get their belief in themselves back again. And it's such an amazing support to have, that someone's got your back. And because you've run your own business, it's not always a nice, steady, smooth ride. And so, especially early on, there's a lot of ups and downs and roller coasters. And that support, they've just been steadfast. So that's what gives me the courage.
I love that. Yeah, support is so important, even if it's just being there to listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say, I've never owned a business. I don't know how I could really be helpful to you. And it's like, well, sometimes just listening is very helpful.
Absolutely.
It can get lonely.
It is. It can really be. I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges that I honestly, it never was on my radar, that working as a solopreneur was lonely. But what I do is, you and I both belong to an organization, NABO.
I was just about to say this.
And but so what I do is, there's like some ladies in NABO who live nearby, and we meet for, like, we either do co-work, we just meet somewhere and we're working in the same space together, we grab coffee. So really just being very intentional about getting that people time that I need is helps.
Yeah. I love that. Same for me. A part of actually moving to where I live now was because I work from home. mostly, unless I do have like a co-working space that I rent for, when I have big meetings that are in
Yeah.
person and things like that. But other than that, it's just me and my house. And
Yeah.
even when the walls, I lived in Baltimore City for a really long time, and you're
Yeah.
in these old row houses with, you don't have windows on the sides.
Yeah.
It gets really depressing after a while. It's like, I
Yeah.
need a natural light. I need connectivity with other people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think partnering with other consultants has also helped me a lot with that,
Yeah.
connection piece, because so much of the work consumes our time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to, find the space. And I love the co-working, because
Yeah. Me too.
that's really great.
Yeah.
You can have little chat breaks
Yeah.
and bounce ideas off of each other.
That's the thing. It's just really amazing. Or sometimes you're struggling with like an idea or trying to launch
Yes.
something, and then you meet with someone else, and they're like, "Oh, I thought it was just me." I'm like, "Oh no, it's us." And it's a bond. But I love what you said too
Yeah.
about partnering with other consultants. I do that a lot because I got a call yesterday that from
Mm-hmm.
a person that I know in Houston, and we've known each other for like 3 years, and we're always looking for opportunities to work together. And he called me yesterday. He's like, "Yep, I need to hire you," and we went through
Yay.
what it would look like. But it's just really wonderful to have that kind of a network where you can share ideas, give each other work when the opportunities come up. But mostly,
Yeah.
it's just knowing they know kind of what you're going through, and so
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, the other part to that is like, there's a level of rigor
Hmm.
that, when you partner with other folks, because they really, like you said, like they understand what you're going through because they're going through it too. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a fun and creative,
Yeah.
rewarding space to be in, to do that.
Yeah.
I love that happened for you yesterday.
Yeah. I
That's
was like,
great.
yay.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
even like partnering on like a free workshop,
Yeah.
or things like that. It just, yeah, it's fun to create together with
Yeah.
folks who get
Yeah.
your thing,
Yeah. Yeah. I
um,
did a workshop yesterday with a woman that I'm in another group with, and we had so much fun. She's a personal stylist, and it aligned
oh, I
perfectly
love
with
that.
what we were doing. It was around getting ready for mid-year reviews and the invisible ceiling. And it's like, so you
Hmm.
get all of this fake feedback, but then there's also like, am I wearing the right thing? Am I
Yeah,
dressing for the job I want? It was so fascinating. I'll send you the replay if you want. It was really
I
fun.
would love that. I missed that, because that's really specific. That's
Yeah.
really neat.
Yeah.
um, yes, Navo has been fantastic. Another group that I'm a part of, and I saw Amrita on here, I don't know if she's still here, is Women in Bio.
Oh,
And that has been, Deb, you should check that out. Other
okay.
folks, you should definitely check that out. There are chapters all over the country and also in Montreal.
Okay.
Um, a beautiful, beautiful community, that is just so incredibly welcoming. And as a member, it's been really fulfilling as far
Okay.
as, what they offer. But
Yeah.
it's just been such a great community. Again,
Yeah.
just talking
Okay.
about that, like building
Yeah.
with others or building around others.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody check
Okay.
Women in Bio out.
I'm definitely gonna. Yeah.
It's been a great experience.
Great.
Yeah. So all right, our last question.
Okay.
What is, and this one, I love this one. I think this is my favorite one.
Yeah.
What is a lesson in leadership that you have chosen to unlearn?
Okay. This is one that's a little embarrassing, but it's thinking that I needed to have all the answers, and thinking that I like my need to be right was was a really big one.
Yeah,
And I know you only asked for one, but I would also say
that's okay. Bring
being
it.
afraid to fail, especially in public. But I would say that really stems from like thinking that I needed to have all the answers was one that I really had to learn. It was how I was raised. It was, when I first went to undergraduate school, that was it. That was what you were a leader. You knew everything. You knew the answers. You knew how to take people from X to Z. And so it just letting a little of that go. I came across this article this week, and I was so fascinated. I was trying to find the article. It was in the New Yorker, but it was
Okay.
it was an interview with Eileen Fisher, who I love her clothes. I've never been able to afford them, but I love her clothes. Like that's what I would wear if it was.
Like, that name sounds familiar.
She's so she has this management style. It was sort of coined the be a don't knower, because she started her fashion clothing company for women in her 30s because she always struggled with what to wear, and it was just something that really caused her anxiety. And so I wish I knew this 20 years ago, because she went right into it with I don't know. What do you recommend? What do you think? What do you know? And so she used it when she was starting her business and got all sorts of really great free advice from people who helped her get the business started. And then as her business grew and grew and grew, she never left that. And it was really this whole idea about there's other people in the room who have great ideas. And I don't know everything. And I really want to hear what you have to say. So I wish I had known that like 20 years ago.
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. I mean, like, you put a lot on yourself.
Yeah.
When you carry that around, I can't imagine the weight, lifted when you let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely fun. I remember I had someone tell me, I was like, tell me something you don't think I want to hear, but I really need to hear. And this person, he was amazing. And he said, you say no a lot. And I instantly wanted to say, no, I don't. And I said, instead, tell me more about that. And he said, he goes, you have so much experience. And he said, you say no a lot. He goes, and you're right, like 95% of the time, but sometimes you just need to let us figure out that the answer was no. And I was like, okay, this is going to be really hard for me to do. Can you help keep me honest? And he said, absolutely. And so like every couple of weeks we'd have a conversation about, am I getting better? And I did. I got a lot better, but it was
I love it.
Yeah, it was really hard.
Like reverse coaching or like intense self-coaching.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool. And I know I had great leadership when I was inside an organization, which I feel like is often not common.
Yeah.
But here you are, like in this organization as a leader, and like asking your team to hold you accountable to improving your way of leading. It's just incredible.
Yeah. When I work with people, everyone I work with, I'm like, I want you to start asking that one question. You will be amazed at what you hear, and you need to practice no response, no defensiveness, no response. Just if you want to know more in that moment, tell me more. If you need to think about it, just say, okay, thank you for that feedback. I need to think about it for a little bit. Can we come back to it?
Yeah.
Because you may feel really triggered, but like literally it was so funny because he's like, you say no all the time. And my first instinct was to go, no, I don't.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm sure you had to control yourself.
Yeah.
In that
and I
moment.
Just went, oh, I can't, no, tell me more. So
that's a second amazing golden nugget that you've given us today. The first was the breathing exercise. Well, many golden nuggets, but just actionable things people can do.
Yeah.
And then this is great. So
cool.
Yeah, if you are with a team, if you're supervising people, managing people, this is really good insight.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because your team wants you to be successful. They truly are invested in you, unless you're just a real jerk, and then they're not. But you wouldn't ask questions anyway. But otherwise, your team is invested in your success. So use them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this awesome conversation on a Friday afternoon, if you're on the East Coast. It was really wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everyone else for joining today. Reach out to Deb. Now you know who she is.
Yeah.
You know how to find her and all the amazing things that she does. Yeah. And join us again in 2 weeks for our next episode. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, because then it'll just come to your inbox and you don't have to remember. Makes it easier. So have a beautiful afternoon and weekend, everyone. Take care.
Thank you again, Paige. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.